Hey there, welcome. It's the James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Let's go. One of the concerns about the debate that's coming up in just 2 days, you'll hear it right here on WBAP, is the idea that Trump is not walking into a fair fight. He's going to be debating against Joe Biden, but he's also going to be debating against the two moderators. Joining me, Raven Harrison from RavenHarrison.com and about 18 other projects. Welcome back to the show, Raven. A couple things that I've learned. Number one is Jake Tapper loves to compare Trump to Hitler. He's done it on multiple occasions. The other thing is Dana Bash. I knew she was a dedicated lefty. And look, that's okay. You can still moderate a debate. I don't have a problem with that. But her name, she was born Dana Schwartz. Dana Bash came from her first husband. And Jeremy Bash was the chief of staff at the CIA under Obama, and one of the 51 intelligence officials who signed the letter lying about Hunter's laptop being Russian disinformation. I don't think this guy's walking into a fair fight, Raven.
He's not, and I think he knew that. The issue is the fact that there are still people out there defending this as that's what it is. I mean, even the interview, we saw one of Trump's press secretary got tossed off of CNN for actually saying that Jake Tapper has been caught doing a lot of anti-Trump stuff. I mean, there's video of it everywhere. It's unbelievable to me, the lines that have been crossed on not even journalism, integrity, and decency. It's not even gaslighting. They are so desperate to protect this walking cadaver that they are willing to just sell their souls and just continue to lie to people with what they can see with their own eyes. So, no, he's not going in, but it is amazing and very much a testament of Trump, the fact that he can do that. He can walk into that knowing it's going to be stacked, knowing it's going to be unfair, knowing they've done everything to cheat, and he's still going to walk in there.
I hope he brings this stuff up. I hope he is the Trump that we know that can be on the offense and not a guy who's trying to deflect and play defense. Because if I was walking into a presidential debate and the one of the moderators, one of the first things I would say is like, oh yeah, of course you would ask that. Your husband's one of the lying intelligence officers who tried to cover for Hunter Biden's laptop. I would put that right out front and center.
Well, I mean, it is. I would feel like every time that he says convicted felon, that I would just mention that, and play that tape of him saying that laptop was Russian disinformation. I honestly would do that. But then you have to be careful because Joe is infirm. When he starts getting confused and what have you, then they're going to start saying that Trump is picking on an old person who's not up for this fight. But, Joe Biden said famously, and I think this is really important, James, to point out, is that when he started this presidential bid, he said that he did this because of Trump making some Charlottesville Nazi comment. Well, they've been playing that on the Internet. And I invite people to go to my Twitter account. My X account, they are playing this nonstop right now. We've just proven that's a lie. So if that's the reason you supposedly ran because Trump said this, we know he didn't say it. Everything about this is a lie. Has Joe Biden ever told the truth ever about anything?
Yeah, it's probably less than 50% of the time based on any of these tapes that we can pull up, because one of the other things that was pointed out on social media is if you break down Joe Biden's opening statement from the last presidential cycle, I think I tried to find it at the last debate, but somebody had a transcript where he came out and he said something about the laptop and this is why he ran, and like four other things that turned out to not be true. If you elect me, I'll tackle inflation or something like that, and I'll
cure cancer.
that was one of them. So I think one of the perils that Team Red is running in here is I think they're hammering too much about Joe Biden's mental decline, because now you're setting up the stage to where as long as the guy doesn't fall over like a piece of timber, that they can declare victory.
Well, I think that's part of it. The other part of it is we have to remind Republicans that you got to stay on this leadership. Joe Biden is most of the equation, but what is the GOP doing about it? This classified, we just got information that they're not going to seek to dismiss this thing with Jack Smith. What are the GOP actually doing? It feels like a default race that they are determined to snatch defeat out of the jaws of victory. So we have to just keep the feet on and just going, the GOP, this is their call. Get busy. If they're not fighting for this, if they're not fighting against back all of this corruption and all this two-faced, this is the American people. You're watching your rights being assassinated in real time. So they better get busy with that, because if we can't get justice to follow through, then what good is it? What good are the laws if nobody's enforcing them?
Where are you watching the debate?
We're having a watch party. We've got presidential bingo. So we're going to have, I think the center square is going to be how many times if he uses convicted felon more than 7 times, and if he gets lost, okay, and if they announce who they're going to replace him with, that's the bonus square, Patriots. So get the popcorn and drinks ready.
Where can I get my presidential bingo card? Because I was thinking about making one for the James Show.
It's going to be available on roarpack.com, the roarpack.com. But yes, I'm going to make sure you get one in your email.
That's fantastic. Well, I have a friend who owns a bar, and it's a sports bar. Like, they were playing the Stanley Cup Finals last night on that same TV, the giant TV above the back bar. They're going to play the debate, and it's a sporting event. It's very gladiatorial these days.
And they have Vegas odds on this for my betting Patriots. They actually have Vegas odds on this. So we're going to, it's not a fun business taking our country back, James, but we gotta take the happy times when we can. So we're just going to make the best of it. We're going to take those lemons and make lemonade.
Well, I know we're not the only media outlet that is making contingency plans in case this guy has like a mental reboot. You know how he kind of blue screens every once in a while? And it takes a second for him to come back. Yeah, we have a contingency plan that we're going to spring into action should that happen. And we've never had to do that before, Raven.
Well, we're going to have it, and we have a contingency bingo plan, too, for the new person who's going to sub in after he completely tanks this.
Right. The squares: racist, sexist, bigot, homophobe, Islamophobes, women's health care.
Got all those.
Yeah, all right. Thank you very much, Raven Harrison.
Thanks, James.
You can find her at ravenharrison.com. She's got a lot of good stuff going on there. What would you put on your bingo card? Because I'm gonna go through the list. We've got to make one. We're gonna make one for the show, and I think me and Croc are gonna play. But I'll make a JPEG. I'll put it on the website. We just have to fill in all the squares first. 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227, and we can start with the basics: racist, sexist, bigot, homophobe, convicted felon. Come on, man. Might want to. That'll probably be in there too. But what else should we add to the debate bingo card? That's what we'll talk about next on the James Show. 800-288-9227. I would love to hear your suggestions. 800-288-9227. It's the James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Hey, welcome to the James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. What is going to be on your bingo card for the presidential debate on Thursday? Just another way to enjoy something that I know it's not supposed to be fun. I know it's not supposed to be cool. This is politics. This is supposed to be very regimented and academic and serious. But it's really hard to take this one serious, isn't it? So I've got a few typed out. Listen, there's only 24 open spaces on the bingo card. It's a 5x5 card. The middle one's going to be a freebie. And look, some obvious ones that are going to be in there: racist, sexist, bigot, homophobe, probably crack. But what would you add to the debate card? Because I have like 18, 19 solid ones already. And I really just need about 5 or 6 more, and we can make our own custom bingo cards. I'll put it on WBAP.com or the app. You can just play along on the app. I know how to do these things. I can do graphics. I can code. And you'll have the official James Show WBAP bingo card that you can play at your debate watching party. 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. What you got? I'd love to hear from you. Let's go to Kendall and Joshua. What would be on your debate card?
It would have to be whenever Joe Biden says, "This is not a joke," as if, that implies that it actually is a joke.
Yeah, so he does that to sort of sustain, like whenever he gets a big laugh or it's an applause line, he does that. "I'm not kidding," or "This is not a joke. That's no joke." He does do that.
Yep,
That's
that'll have to be mine.
See, one of the other ones on my list is another verbal tick that he does. And it's not that it means he's stupid or he's an idiot. I have verbal ticks. Right. You probably do too. I mean, you could probably point some out that I do. But another one he does is, even though he doesn't really have a list formulated in his mind, and when he starts to talk, he likes to pretend he has a list. So he'll be like, that's number 1, number 2, and then he'll continue. And of the 20 years I've had to cover politics on talk radio, he's only gotten to number 3 like once.
Right.
All right. So I'm up to like 19 squares covered, and if you count the middle square being free, 19. So I need a good 5, 6 more.
I actually have another one.
What would that be?
Whenever he talks about corn pop.
Corn pop.
Bring corn pop into it, but.
All right. Well, hey, that's a suggestion. I'll take. If I get more than 25, I'll take 30, and then we'll pick the top 25 to be on there. But I appreciate the additions. Thank you very much, Kendall.
No problem. Bye.
Nancy in Midlothian, what would be on your presidential debate card?
The pauses that he makes in order to get the right answer in his ear. I think he's going to be wearing an earpiece for sure.
Now that's interesting. Really? Go ahead, Nancy. You think, and it's going to be obvious when he is talking in the mid sentence. You can see he's going to stop and listen.
Yes, I do. He won the coin toss, and what he asked for was the right position of the podium, and I think that means that he's going to have the earpiece in the opposite ear where it's not visible as much, and I'm sure he's going to be wearing the earpiece because he's not going to know how to answer, even though he's got a list of all the questions, etc.
Well,
still not gonna,
Nancy, I don't think that Democrats would cheat in an election. They wouldn't do things like that. They wouldn't give the questions to their candidate first or anything like that. That would be unethical, Nancy.
I know that's true.
Yeah, it is.
But I'm pretty sure he's going to be doing that. At times during one of the other debates with Trump before, he had these long pauses. And I think that's what it was at that time, too, because he's not going to know what to say.
Well, now that you said that, me and about 40, 50,000 other people are going to be watching for it on Thursday, Nancy. So thanks for bringing it up.
Okay, well, that's my theory.
Thank you. All right, let's go to Lori and Van Alstyne. What would be on your presidential debate card? Tell the rest of the WBAP listeners.
Hey, I think the extra square needs to say, look, man.
Can I modify that? Can I modify that to "come on, man"? Because come on, man.
Yeah,
come on, man was such a crutch. I have 3 of them in my Audiotron 3000.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, so he's got a "come on, man" for every situation, almost every situation. It's a very versatile phrase.
True. I hear it all the time from him. He starts every sentence this way. So, yeah, put that on the card.
Okay, come on, man, come on, man, come on, man,
come on, man.
Yeah, see, that's the one where that's the disbelief. This is sort of the interrogatory.
Come on, man.
Like, really? Are you really saying that? And then this last one, this is the exasperated.
Come on, man.
Like, I've had enough of you, sir. Yeah. All right. Well, that's on the card. That'll definitely make it. Thank you very much, Lori and Van Alstyne. All right, so let me go through some of these other ones I got on my card as you other great callers are lining up. Here's what I have so far. Of course, number 1, the middle square is going to be free. So in my list of 25, I really just need 24. The word, let's see. Here's the whole list. Racist, sexist, the term hate speech, homophobe, LGBT, or it could be LGBTQIA or plus or LMNOP. The phrase women's healthcare, but specifically being used as a deceptive synonym for abortion, so women's health care. Convicted felon, I mean, we're going to hear that 100 times, but that's got to be on there. Russian disinformation is number 9 on my list. Then we have crack, inflation, and then I stuck in, come on, man, right there for my last caller. I know, it's already in there, isn't it? Common sense gun laws. I like that one. That'll be in there. Now, check this one out. What about Laken Riley? Also have Venezuelan illegals. I predict there will be a nod to what just happened in Houston to our neighbors down 45. And then, should this be on the same square? I have Hitler/Nazi. There has to be a Nazi/Hitler reference at some point in the debate. Either or, I think, counts as the same square. That's fair, right? Number 17, Kamala. Any mention of Kamala? 18 is that verbal tick where he goes, number 1. Number 2, I'm telling you, he's going to say that. That'll be a square. And then the other recommendation, this is not a joke. I'm not kidding. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Corn pop. I think Trump might say that one, but corn pop's going to be a square. And then just the general awkward pause when Biden does his blue screen of death and you have to hold down the button so it reboots. That's what we have so far. Let's squeeze another one in there. Sherry in Mesquite, what would you add to your presidential debate bingo card?
Well, I think that he just gets so indignant that he cannot help but take the name of the Lord in vain. And he does that whenever we're being scolded. That's his go-to phrase.
Give me an example. How does he do it, Sherry?
My God. I'm not going to say the whole thing because I don't do that.
Okay. No, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? Just for Sherry and Mesquite, God's name in vain. You just made the card, Sherry.
All right.
I'll be
listening for it.
All right. Well, you're on the list now. So if it makes the final cut, you'll be able to download the JPEG from WBAP.com or the WBAP app. We're putting together our presidential bingo card for the debate. Presidential debate bingo card for the debate on Thursday that you're going to hear live on WBAP. I'll continue fielding some very good requests from you. 800-288-9227. 800-288-9227. It's the James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. What would you put on your presidential debate bingo card? That's what we're talking about right now on the James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. I was just checking the Facebook and the social media comments to see what was being added there, and we had a couple of good additions here. Let me add to the list. Build Back Better. That's a good one. I don't know. Should Build Back Better be on there? I'm not sure if he's going to say it or Trump will say it. Either one. Insurrection. I thought that was a good addition. Thank you very much to my nice little people on Facebook who are trying to help out, but they don't want to wait on hold until Garrett. I don't blame you. Where did that come from? Was that Brenda or Tammy? Or anyway, thank you very much. And I also thought of another one. The word "don't," but not as it's casually used in a sentence. The moderator asked them, like, well, what's your message to the Iranians who are acting out or funding terror? Or what's your message to Putin who's looking at invading something else? I've got one word, don't. You know how he does that now? It's like, don't. That's sort of whispery, about to die, like, quait. Remember in the end of Total Recall with Kawadu, the little guy that was growing out of the other dude's stomach, and he's like, quait. Start the reactor. It's the same voice because he's slowly dying out. It's the same voice that's used when Biden does his foreign policy one word. Don't. All right, let's see what y'all got. Let's go to Chip and Toller. Where's Toller?
Toller, southwest of Granbury, between Granbury and Stephenville on 377. We're a little dot in the road down here. Nice, small little community. We call it Toller America, and that's the way we refer to it down here. We're just a small little community.
I'm sure it's really Joe Biden territory, Toller.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
You can go with that.
What are you adding to the bingo card, Chip?
Well, I think one square needs to be whenever Joe, he gets talking so fast that he goes into an unintelligible stammer and starts mumbling, and you can't really tell what he says or if he's really saying anything, any word at all. He's just making sound. I think that needs to be a square.
Does everybody know what the schwa sound is? Garrett, do you know what it means when I say schwa? Like in phonetics, the upside down E? It's that the whenever you have a vowel that's in the unaccented syllable, it's always just a sound, no matter what the vowel is. So there's that, and then he does the thing where he says like all the consonants at the same time too. So it's like exactly. We know what you're talking about. I think that's a good addition. The unintelligible mix of words, the mumble. That's good, Chip. That's good.
That's it. Thank you very much.
Mumble. I'll put that in there. Thank you, Chip. All right, so stick with the phones here because y'all got some other good ones. This is Alan in Dallas. What would you put on the bingo card?
Any mention of like the word MAGA or super MAGA?
Do you think Trump would say it or Biden would say it?
Biden, I would think.
What is super MAGA?
I've heard it a couple of times come from the left-wing side.
Oh, is that supposed to be like a scare term? Like they're not just MAGA, they're super MAGA.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, we're supposed to be afraid of you.
All right, MAGA might make the final cut. I'm up to 27 suggestions, so 3 of these are going to have to go away. That's on the list. That's one of the nominees. Thank you very much, Alan in Dallas. Mike and Justin, what would you add to your presidential debate bingo card, which you can, by the way, hear live on WBAP Thursday? Go ahead, Mike.
Bidenomics is working.
Does it have to be that phrase, Bidenomics is working?
Or Bidenomics.
Bidenomics. Okay, that's on the list. In fact, I think that'll make the final cut. I'm surprised I didn't think of that before. And that's why we have the phone calls, because if I had sit here for maybe 3 hours, I could have thought of that. But you sped up the process. Thank you, Mike and Justin.
Thank you.
Dave in Trinidad, what would you put on your presidential debate bingo card?
When Biden lowers his voice and does that creepy whispering thing.
Yeah, kind of like when he does the word "don't," but he does it for other things too. Like
he just lowers his voice and just whispers into the mic and like he's going to make a point or something. But I don't know. That drives me nuts when he does that.
Well, he does. He has all kinds of rhetorical tricks that he uses, much like any public speaker. It's just that we've been subjected to this guy for decades now, and then really hot and heavy because he was the VP for 8 years, and then he didn't disappear for 4 years, and now he's been president for 4 years. So now all of the little weird idiosyncratic things that he has just stand out. And if you don't like the guy, that's super annoying when he's like, it's a big deal, or it only went to the 1%. Yeah, I know. We know what you're talking about. All of us know what you're talking about. Fantastic addition.
The creepy whispering. There you go.
And I actually know where Trinidad's at. I've stopped there for gas before on the way to a football game or two.
Cedar Creek Lake.
Yep. Over by the GBC. I know it. Thank you very much, sir. All right. I have time to take a couple more. I thought I had to take a break here. Well, good. We got time for Stephanie in Arlington. What would you add to your presidential debate bingo card?
Well, someone said one of mine, but I have 2 others. Right-wing extremist. I know Biden will work that one in. And then also you could do another one when he pauses because maybe he hears the ice cream truck out in the parking lot. He hears that music and he has to stop for a minute and think about what kind of ice cream he's going to get when the debate's over.
Well, that's what it looks like sometimes when he wanders off, like in Normandy. I thought maybe there was an ice cream truck in the background on the other side of where those parachuters were landing, and he was like, "Oh, ice cream. Maybe that's it."
Exactly.
So you're saying a random pause,
right?
Okay. Well, we had someone else say the pause because he's going to be listening to whatever they're feeding him in his earpiece.
Right.
All right. So maybe just a random. Does it have to be a Biden pause? Does it count if Trump has a random pause too? Because Trump doesn't do that where he does the blue screen of death in front of you, but he's getting up there. He might have some awkward pauses.
Could be. And then I definitely think the right-wing extremist, Biden will try to say that, I know.
Yeah, well, we have some other ones that are close on that. I like the term super MAGA that a guy used earlier, and then I also had Hitler/Nazi, but right-wing extremist, there might be a place for that on the bingo card. All right, thank you very much, Stephanie.
Well, I think it's going to be a blackout game. We're probably going to cover the whole board by the time it's over.
Well, we can't make this a drinking game or we would die. No one would be able to drive home. All right, I got time for one more. Thank you very much, Stephanie.
Thank you.
Adam and Alvarado, you're going to be the last word on this. What would you add to the presidential debate bingo card?
Hey, James, I'm going to go simple on this. And ironically, it could actually be a drinking game, too. It's something that the press secretary always says. Let me be clear.
Well, that's more of an Obama phrase. That was one of Obama's verbal tics. Let me be clear. And then he would usually right after that say something that's so murky and vague.
We know that Biden's not original either, so.
True. All right, let me be clear. All right, so I have 32, and thank you very much for the suggestion, Adam and Alvarado. We don't hear from Alvarado very much. So here's what I've got for the card. Racist, sexist, hate speech, homophobe, LGBT, women's health care, convicted felon, Russian disinformation, crack, inflation. Come on, man. Common sense gun laws, Lake and Riley, Venezuelan illegals, Hitler/Nazi, Kamala, number 1. Number 2, this is not a joke, or I'm not kidding. Corn pop, awkward pause, God's name in vain, Build Back Better, insurrection, don't, unintelligible mumbles, MAGA or super MAGA, Bidenomics, some other creepy whisper thing, and right-wing extremists. Those are the 30. Y'all did a good job with that. All right, we have our work cut out for us. I'll have the bingo card ready for Thursday's debate. All right, stick with me. Coming up next is the anti-woke economy emerging. That's coming up on The James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.